Alright, you guys, so we are back with another epic session on the regiments that was in the Civil War. Today we're going to discuss a little bit more on the South Carolina regiments and their history as well. And we're going to also discuss the battles that each of these regiments were involved in. But before we dive into that as well, I need you guys to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And once again, I do want to say thank you for all the support that you guys have been giving me throughout this journey and the Civil War history that I've been going through. Also, I have created a Facebook fan page. I'll leave the link in the description box as well, so you guys can go there and follow that as well, where I post almost daily of locations that I've been at or I'm planning on going to, as well as trailers to my new videos. Now, I did recently go out to Lookout Mountain in Chickamauga this past weekend, so I do have those videos coming to you guys as soon as possible. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the history of the South Carolina regiments. Alright, so the first South Carolina regiment that we are going to discuss is the 11th Infantry Regiment, also known as the 9th Volunteer. The South Carolina 11th Infantry Regiment, also called the 9th Regiment, was organized during the summer of 1861 with men from Beaufort, Clarendon, and Clecton counties. The unit served in the Charleston area, fought at Pocatello, then was stationed at Hardeeville. It was assigned to Hall Goods Brigade. Then one company was permitted to organize and equip as a light battery, Beaufort Artillery, and the regiment served with 9 companies. During the summer of 1863, it was again active in the Charleston area, but later moved to Florida and then to Virginia in the spring of 1864. Here it fought at Dewey's Bluff, Cold Harbor, action at Bentonville, where it lost 4 was killed, 15 was wounded, and 2 missing at Pocanelli, had 14 killed, 39 wounded, and 12 missing in front of Petersburg on May 6th through the 9th, and sustained 14 killed, 28 wounded, 45 missing at Deep Bottom. Its casualties were about 60% in the fight at Weldon Railroad, and scarcely the strength of the company surrendered on April 26, 1865. Some of the battles that the 11th Infantry was involved in was Port Royal, South Carolina on November 7, 1861, Port Royal Ferry, South Carolina, June 6, 1862, Port Royal Ferry, July 4, 1862, Pinnacle Island, August 21st, 1862, Coosawhatchie, South Carolina, October 22nd to the 23rd, 1862, destruction of the George Washington near Beaufort, South Carolina, April 9th, 1863, Pope's Island, May 19th, 1863, Combie River, June 2nd, 1863. Expedition from Fort Pulaski, Georgia to Bluffton, South Carolina, June 4th, 1863. Expedition to Barneswell Island, South Carolina, July 30th, 1863. Charleston Harbor, August through September, 1863. Swift Creek, May 9th, 1864. Dewey's Bluff, May 12th, 1864. Dewey's Bluff, May 16th, 1864. Cold Harbor, Virginia, June 1st through the 3rd, 1864. Petersburg Siege, Virginia, June 1864 through April 1865. Weldon Railroad, August 21st, 1864. 2nd Fort Harrison, Virginia, September 30th, 1864. 2nd Fort Fisher, January 13th through the 15th, 1865. The Carolinas Campaign, South Carolina, February through April 1865. Bentonville, North Carolina, March 19th through the 21st, 1865. Company A, there was multiple companies. There was Company A, which were men mainly from the Beaufort district, and they were mustered in June 12th, 1861 at Bay Point. Company B, many men from Clifton district, was mustered in June 17th, 1861. Company C, also known as the Somerville Rifles, many men from Charleston district, was mustered in July 6, 1861 at Hilton Head Island. Company D, also as Wimpy Swamp Guards, many men from Beaufort district, mustered in July 15, 1861 at Bay Point. So that is most of the companies that was involved in this regiment. Now we are going to dive into the 24th South Carolina Infantry Regiment. Now, if you guys are not familiar, I was out in the battlefield at Chickamauga this past weekend. There is a monument of the 24th South Carolina Regiment that actually fought in that area. Now that I know that, I'm going to go back out there and pay my respects to that monument, and as well as many other South Carolina monuments that are at that location, as well as the North Carolina regiments and many others. Also, when I was out at the battlefield of Chickamauga, if you guys are not familiar with the video, when I did the video on the 24th and 82nd Illinois, the 24th Illinois battled out there at the battlefield of Chickamauga, I was able to find the monument and was able to take a picture with that monument. So it felt very rewarding and very exciting to actually be able to witness a monument of a regiment that I actually took time and effort to understand the history of them and all those men. I wish I would have got to meet them personally. From reading their history and the battles that they were in, they were very brave men. But as well as any men that was in the Civil War, they were all brave men and went through a lot of pain and suffering through those 5 years of the Civil War. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share you guys some information of the 24th South Carolina Infantry, which was formed in the winter of 1861 through 1862. The first 6 companies A through F were commissioned by the governor in Charleston, South Carolina, while the last 4 G through K were formed in Camp Lightwood in Columbia, South Carolina. 2 militia officers were chosen to lead the regiment: Colonel Clement H. Stevens of the 1st South Carolina Militia Rifles and Lieutenant Colonel Ellis Capers of the 16th South Carolina Militia. Most of the companies were from Charleston, Edgefield, and Clinton, with some men hailing from Charleston, Anderson, and Beaufort. First posted to Sullivan's Island, South Carolina, to defend Charleston Harbor, the 24th first fought at Secessionville. At the Battle of Secessionville, the 24th, under the command of General Johnston Haygood, along with the Utah Battalion, fought Yankee regiments like the famous 1st New York Engineer Regiment and Battalion B, 3rd Rhode Island Heavy Artillery. After the Battle of Secessionville, the 24th was transferred to Mississippi. In May 1863, the 24th joined Grist's Brigade, where it was engaged at Jackson. After the engagement at Jackson, Grist's Brigade was moved to the Army of Tennessee, where it fought in Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina. The 24th fought in campaigns like the Vicksburg Campaign, the Chickamauga Campaign, and the Atlanta Campaign. On April 9, 1865, the 24th was consolidated with the 16th South Carolina Infantry Regiment to form the 16th 24th Consolidated Infantry Regiment. The battles that the 24th Infantry was involved in was the Battle of Secessionville, Vicksburg Campaign, the Battle of Big Black River Bridge, Battle of Chickamauga, Battle of Missionary Ridge, First Battle of Dalton, Battle of Resaca, Battle of Dallas, Battle of Marietta, Battle of Kennesaw Mountain, Battle of Decatur, Battle of Atlanta, Battle of Jonesboro, Battle of Lovejoy's Station, Battle of Franklin, Battle of Nashville, and the Battle of Bentonville. The 24th eventually surrendered on April 26, 1865, with the rest of the Army of Tennessee. The third regiment that we're going to talk about in this session today is the South Carolina 3rd Palmetto Battalion Light Artillery. The South Carolina 3rd Artillery Battalion, known as the Palmetto Battalion, was organized in December 1861. Its members were from the counties of Allendale, Richland, Charleston, Georgetown, and Keyshaw. For some point, the unit served in the Department of South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, but the companies were frankly detached. Companies A, D, E, G, H, I, and K took part in the battles in and around Charleston. A, G, H, I, and K were included in the surrender of the Army of Tennessee, and D, E, and F disbanded after the evacuation of Charleston. Company B served in the Department of Mississippi, East Louisiana, and the Army of Tennessee fought at Jackson, then saw action in the Atlanta, Tennessee, and North Carolina campaigns. It surrendered on April 26, 1865. Company C was assigned to the Department of Mississippi and East Louisiana, Army of Tennessee, and the Department of Alabama, Mississippi, East Louisiana. It fought at Charleston, Jackson, and Chickamauga, then served at Mobile and surrendered May 1865. Alright, so a little bit, now this last part is a very special part. This video was actually I decided to make this video for my wife, who found out she had Confederate ties in particular, a man that served in the 11th South Carolina Infantry by the name of Nathaniel Enfinger. He actually started out as a private, and his final rank after the end of the war was a corporal. He was part of Company B, and he was also in the 11th South Carolina Infantry. Now, was he the only Enfinger in South Carolina? No. There was several Enfingers that was actually part of the South Carolina Infantry, or South Carolina Confederate soldiers, from 1861 to 1865. You have Private Absol Enfinger, who was Company G, 11th South Carolina Infantry. Private D Enfinger, Company I, 16th and 24th Consolidated Infantry. Private Daniel W. Enfinger, Company C, 24th South Carolina Infantry. Private G. N. Enfinger, Company H, 11th South Carolina Infantry. Private H. L. Enfinger, Company H, 11th South Carolina Infantry. Private Jacob C. A. Enfinger, Company D, 3rd Palmetto Battalion, South Carolina Light Artillery. Private James Enfinger Anderson, Company 1st Martin, South Carolina Mounted Militia. Private James W. Enfinger, Company C, 3rd Battalion, or Palmetto Battalion, South Carolina Light Artillery. Private L. G. Enfinger, Company H, 11th South Carolina Infantry. Private Lewis G. Enfinger, Company D, 3rd Palmetto Battalion, South Carolina Light Artillery. And once again, you have Corporal Nathaniel Enfinger, part of Company B, 11th South Carolina Infantry. Private A. or Private W.A. Infantry Company H, 11th South Carolina Infantry. So that is a little bit of the 3 regiments of the South Carolina Infantry that I was wanting to dive into today. I hope that you guys are enjoying these mini sessions that I bring to you guys, not only filming the locations, but I'm also talking about the regiments that was involved in multiple battles that I have recently traveled and filmed for you guys, as well as even doing some of the reenactments. So that is always special to actually dive into some of these regiments and getting to know a little bit about each men and what counties they came through and what battles they were actually involved in. As you can see, most of these regiments that I have recently done, they were involved in majority of the battles that was taking place during the Civil War for those 5 years. But you know, once again, I do want to just give a big shout out to all my subscribers and thank them once again for all the support that they have been giving me. Let's continue growing. Let's continue learning, sharing information with one another. We're almost at 100 subscribers now, so let's keep going, you guys. I know we can do it. Last time I checked, we were at 69 subscribers, so we're moving a little bit closer to 100. I just need you guys to keep supporting me, showing the love, and I'll show you guys as much love as I can, because you guys keep me going each and every day. You guys motivate me to go out there and bring you guys some content, as well as history of each of the regiments. If there's any regiment out there that you guys would like me to touch base on, just post it in the comment section below on this video or any video in particular. And also, I will get those videos out there from my trip out in Chattanooga, as well as Chickamauga Battlefield. So stay tuned for that as well. I will also be posting trailers of each of the videos as well on my Facebook fan page. So go over there, follow that page as well, so you guys can receive extra updates of what's going on with the channel, as well as the movement that I'm going through. And love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.